Welcome back to another great episode. And I'm here with Chris Murphy, CEO and co founder of Klink Finance. Klink Finance has really a good community in Turkey. I'm really excited to have you here, Chris. How are things going from your side?
Doing very well, Anis. So yeah, offline we're making plans, right? So we're nearly past Q1. We're hoping Q2 is a better quarter in crypto, and I believe we're all confident of it as well. So yeah, all things going well our side.
I think the Q2 gonna be really much better for the especially alt season and also
Mhm.
early stage deals, early stage projects as well. What's your experience in 2025? How the things going from your side? What's the last updates from Klink side? Klink side.
Sure. Yeah. So let's maybe start with 2024. So like I think last year the whole market had an anticipation of following that 4-year cycle, right? So like everything working in synchronization with how things have been before. Obviously, there was a run with the U.S. presidential election, and we came into 2025 with somewhat of arrogance or an anticipation that everything should go perfectly, right? But that is always typically a sell the news event, right? So the smart money had anticipated something a bit different, and obviously economics across the world aren't as strong or fundamental as we expected them. As a founder, you can't just rely on the markets or the macro. You also have to be thinking about the micro economy around you. Who is your user base? How can you grow them? How can you improve your products? How can you listen? So although the macro has not been great to us as the Web3 segment, I would say this quarter, as tough it has been as a founder, things haven't been as straightforward. We've come a long way in terms of our product. We've grown over 100,000 users in 1 month in February. So what we're actually really trying to focus on is how to actually get the most efficiency within our own services. So, there's silver lining in everything. And I believe we've come a long way in terms of our products, what our consumer wants, and, obviously having a firm focus of what comes next with our own business. So all in, it's been a good quarter, aside from everything on fire outside of what's in control of us. So yeah, it's been a good few months.
You said you reached almost around 1 million users.
We grew 100,000 users in February alone.
Okay.
So yeah, it's funny because every time we check the dashboards, I have to keep updated when I speak with people of where we are with our numbers. 100,000 users in February, all across the world. We have now 600,000 registered users in 127 countries. So it took us a year and a half or 2 years to get to that number, right? So there was months where we grew when we first started the business by like 2 or 3 thousand users per month. And what I've learned as a founder is, you always hear it from people who have built big businesses before. You get through a product market fit phase where it's like, okay, you tweak things, you listen to consumers, maybe you try a feature that doesn't work. But over time, you basically build an engine that can just scalably grow, right? So I wouldn't say we're at the point of scaling. We're still, I feel, at that product market fit phase, but there's no doubt in my mind now what we're building is something that's useful to the market. And that's something that gets me up in the morning. It's obviously in good and bad times, you understand that we have a product that has longevity. So there's very good signals in terms of what we're building, um, aside from what the outside Web3 market is looking like in the short run. So yeah, we've come leaps and bounds. 100,000 users is great. Now we want to get 100,000 users through a service that basically is consistently monetized, having better spend on our advertising, XYZ. So we're actually even trying to tweak the scaling at this point, as opposed to just trying to grow inconsistently.
Man, this is really huge. It's almost over how million users in 127 countries. How did you
Yeah,
get point? How did you do that? This is really huge.
yeah, yeah. The key that I've learned with Web3 is that it's all really Web3 marketing is built around incentivization. So you have to give something to get something in Web3. That's just, a Web2 marketer might scratch their head and look at all of these complex funnels. And that's not to say that's not there in crypto, but you also can't just fire up Google ads or Facebook ads as a Web3 product because there's so much regulation against that. So virality is the only actual option you have as a product in Web3. And that is basically driven by community incentivization. So what we really look towards is a viral coefficient. Whenever we launch a campaign, or if we launch an airdrop, either for our own business or for an airdrop we're running on our platform, we always look towards the viral coefficient, whereby if someone is coming into this service, how likely are they to share it with 2 to 3 friends? That's something that we're always targeting when we launch something. It's like, can we get this person who we first bring into the product to actually share it with their friends? And we didn't do a good job of that initially, and we maybe overlooked it a bit as well. But now everything we do is consequently towards trying to get people to actually share the services that they're involved with. And that paid us quite a dividend so far. And it's something we're also still trying to improve upon.
Got it. Got it. And I'm also curious because the Klink Finance also provide integration solution for DApps.
Yes.
Could you tell me more about this?
Well, I think we skipped a step for any of the listeners of what Klink Finance is. So people will mostly know us as a wealth creation platform. We basically enable people to earn crypto online from $0 of investment via our iOS, Android, and web application. Users can play games. They can download third-party exchange applications. They can do surveys and do various different tasks online to earn crypto. What we do is we enable our partners to drive user acquisition to them within our own platform. So from a B2B side, we're ultimately a user acquisition marketplace, but towards our own users on the platform, we're a place whereby they can earn money for free for doing certain actions on third-party services. So that's where we've grown our user base. Our B2B partners want the kind of tools that are on our existing platform within their own services. So basically having this kind of viral coefficient, having ways in which they can monetize a user without actually having to make them invest or make a first deposit. That includes Telegram mini apps, dApps, Web3 blogs, you name it. Anywhere that has a very large existing community, a lot of GameFi applications, etc. They have millions of users, right? But they only fractionally monetize users in a way that is efficient to them. So for that reason, the types of tools that we have in our own platform, the questing, and obviously the partner network we have where users can try apps and earn money, we basically want to enable that becomes an integration layer across third-party services on a revenue share-based model. So instead of Klink actually having to build all of the user acquisition on its own platform, we actually want to be a layer or a publisher network across other Web3 ecosystems and services where our existing partner network can be basically displayed across other applications that aren't our own. But that works for everybody because the user still earns money from a third-party service that's not ours. The partner product is able to monetize their community. And obviously the partner advertisers, the offers that we have that we're basically distributing, they're also able to continuously still drive their user acquisition. So also we basically become an ecosystem of engagement, but not definitively within our own platform, across a network of partners.
Got it. Yeah, thank you for your clear answer. I just also wanted to ask this question because we have also new subscribers and new followers on our platforms, on our socials. That's why I just wanted to ask for who those don't know about Klink Finance. So thank you very much. And the last thing is, I really, I also, for following your and social and all activities behind the scenes, I know also you have really a lot of experience, and you gain a lot of experience 2024 as a founder. What's your advice to who has a startup or projects?
Yeah, I would. That's a good question, right? My mind changes on this the longer I'm a founder, right? So being a founder is like a book. It has chapters, right? And there's bad chapters and there's good chapters. It's the biggest and greatest ride you'll ever take, but you have to accept failure, right? No one's going to get it right the first time. I would learn mistakes that I've probably made is to probably fail a bit quicker. You can get stuck on an idea and a concept, and as your team gets bigger and your product gets bigger, it's harder to kind of steer the wheel. You can't just take a right turn immediately. But like it's like driving a car on ice, right? You'll eventually turn, but you're still navigating straight for a lot of the time. So like learn to be nimble and learn to fail. I would also say I see a lot of founders sometimes just jumping into a narrative or a fad. That can help you if you're quick to move. That's not to say that people haven't been successful in that. And certainly in Web3, people can still make a quick buck, right? Especially just building in a quick narrative and coming and going. We don't see it that way as a business. Like we're in the game 3 years now. We want to be in the game for the next decade. That's how we built our product. Um, the flip side of that is I see a lot of founders miss. They're not quick enough. They don't have the right contacts. Maybe they're a first time founder. So like when you're actually thinking of building something, think of it like a marriage, right? You're not going to be able to get out of it too quick, right? And you know, you need to stick with what you have. So I feel a lot of people can fail sometimes because they don't catch that phrase. So like think in longevity and understand that like it, you know, most people don't earn that quick buck, right? Build something of meaning and bring you a lot further.
I got it. Yeah, I got it. You will never get this experience from anywhere. Just only Web3 space, and you can also
Yeah.
get this experience as a founder.
Yeah.
Uh,
I can tell straight away if someone has either been in an early stage startup or has been a founder before, because the way they think and how they're able to basically have their own initiative to just get started. Like when we go through hiring, sometimes we hired people out of big companies and you can just tell straight away that no offense to their skill set, but they're not going to be able to take the pace and the pain potentially, right, of being in an early stage product because there's no rules, right? Everybody just has to make their way. And it can be harder for people who come out of big businesses, who are consultants or whatever, to kind of be able to work in that way, right? So the value of experience that you can get is incomprehensible towards anything else that you might do in your work life. And yeah, it's something that I would vouch for, but of course, it's not also for everyone as well, right? And that's also fine. Yeah,
yeah. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that for your valuable insights. This video also going to be very effective for founders and also Klink holders, future Klink holders. I can say that. Thank you very much, Chris, for your valuable thoughts. If you would like to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and turn notifications on. See you for more contents.